Welcome, my name is Rich, and this is a laid-back Let's Play of Star Wars: The Old Republic. In this Let's Play, I will mainly be engaging with the story and stories that the game is trying to tell, and talking about the moral and ethical positions that the game's choices put me in, and making fun of the villains, usually, because they're easy to make fun of. I have a few things to do, on my to-do list. I have a class mission. I've finished my class-related stuff on Alderaan. So I'm going to stop following that, actually. And I've got to acquire Thule gas grenades and speak to Firel Canor. Ah, yes. So it appears as though this has changed. War Crimes Firel Canor. I picked up a quest from him last time to escort a journalist around this region and then bring him up here to a safe house. I did, and it was on a timer, a 45-minute timer. I did most of it, except I didn't take the escort subject, the journalist, to the safe house. It appears as though that timer was still ongoing, even though it had disappeared and I'd completed the objectives for the task. And that the timer continued to run down even after I'd logged out, which, I mean, is kind of annoying for a timer like that. But, you know, if you've got one way or the other for things to go, it could be either. So it looks as though I will need to retake this mission and redo it. Now, it didn't take long last time, thankfully. And hopefully, now that I know what I'm doing, it won't take long this time either. Yeah, okay. So we've gone through it skipped most of the dialogue. And we've gotten to the line that last time prompted me to quote the 11th Doctor. Hi, welcome. Oh, hey, Sammy. I don't... the Bruiser. Is that how you pronounce the surname? The name? Not his surname. Username, that's the one. You've spelt it a little strangely. Yes, so him claiming that he's not important prompted me to quote the 11th Doctor last time. Oh, good. It is pronounced Bruiser. It's just the usual spelling of Bruiser was taken a while ago. Fair enough. If you'd gone Bruiser 578 or something, I would have asked you if you were the 578th bruiser of your name. Well, I'm glad that you're here. I appreciate you. In general, but here specifically. Gotta see you at Magic soon. I'm afraid that's unlikely, given that I have moved away from Stoke. I'm now about an hour away on train. But I hope that now things are opening up again. You and everyone who played at Forbidden Planet can get together and enjoy playing again. Yeah, it'd be nice to hang out. I'm also thinking about moving. So I'm in Chester now. I moved back here after I finished with uni. My brother currently lives down near Cardiff, and I'm thinking about moving down there and living with him. It's not definite at the moment. The reason I haven't moved down to Cardiff specifically is because I've wandered around there a few times before and not really liked the city very much. But this is near Cardiff, not in Cardiff, so it's not the same, and I'm hoping that I will like the place more than I liked Cardiff. Sounds like a good adventure. Well, I hope so. Oh. Thought I'd have managed to avoid pulling them. Don't remember what these guys were doing. Let's just attack them all, I guess. Stop blowing me up. Ouchies. What are we doing here? Right. Getting hollow records. It's weird that he turns to face me. Or that taking his hollow pictures don't lock him in place, so that he's not just automatically facing towards me the whole time. Okay, into the torture cave we go. Torture chamber. Right. Not quite the same thing. I mean, it is a cave, but according to the game, it is specifically a torture chamber. Oh, hey. Loot. Wonder why I'm able to use... It was a replacement hat, but because my character has these, are they called Montreuils? I don't remember. Ooh. Stuff. Because my character has stuff on her head, hats won't show up. No thank you. None of that. Please maintain social distancing until after you're dead, and then I will steal your loot. She's got a cool look, though. She does. She's a Togruta. And she's Sage is the name of the class, which is the only ranged Jedi type available to play. All the other Jedi are melee. And I decided I wanted to play a ranged character. This whole quest is designed to highlight to us how unpleasant the Ulgo are. Now let's actually do the thing that completes the quest. Oh, come on. Can I get them all? Could you just stay in one place, please? So I can target you. Very inconvenient running around all over the place. I could have been playing as a Jedi Shadow who are capable of using stealth, and then I wouldn't have had to worry about slipping past mobs like this. But what put me off about the Jedi Shadow was that they use staff sabers, or double-ended sabers, and I just can't get past the idea that they just look too dangerous to use. They just look stupid. Apparently, and I didn't know this, someone told me a couple of streams ago. Got such a great voice for streaming. Oh, thank you. I have been complimented on my voice a couple of times, so it's nice to know. Nice to hear it again. Someone told me, one of the watchers, one of the people watching told me a few streams ago that you're not if you're playing a Jedi Shadow, or if you're playing a class that uses a double-ended lightsaber, you're not stuck with double-ended lightsabers. You can get polearm lightsabers, so like a long staff with a lightsaber on the end. And it would have been nice to know that before whilst I was making my choices about what character to play, because Jedi Shadows are capable of stealth, and they're also one of the classes that has a spec that's a tank, which would have made surviving easier. But oh well. This class has a spec that's... why? Go away, leave me alone. Well, this class has a spec that's a healer, which I'm not really very interested in playing, to be honest. Such a relaxing tone. Nice to lurk to while playing games as well as watching. It's just a chill vibe. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm perfectly happy with the content I create being something that people put on in the background whilst they do other things. That's a valid way of consuming media, and if that's how mine ends up being consumed, that's cool. Bit of a weird place to have a safe house, like right next to extremely hostile territory. But okay. Currently playing Dead by Daylight and enjoying the stream between rounds. Cool. Dead by Daylight's the game where you're either a slasher horror antagonist or one of 4 people who are trying to escape from the killer. Thought so. So do you tend to play as a killer or as a victim? Well, I don't know if are they classed as victims? They aren't necessarily victims, but they're the people who are set up to be caught by the killer. Oh yeah, I've got that to sell, haven't I? Which one is it? This one. Let's get a couple more of them. Now we need to acquire some horrible gas grenades from some evil people. You play both. I play Survivor or the Trapper. Oh, cool. Welcome, Mimo. Glad to have you here. I'm currently on Alderaan, zooming about. I finished my class mission on missions on Alderaan pretty quickly, oddly quickly. I didn't think I would be doing. I didn't think I'd be completing them as quickly as I did. I finished them on Monday, I think, or yesterday. Not yesterday, Wednesday. Currently using my blood points XP that I've gained from playing Jill Valentine from Resident Evil. Wasn't it destroyed? Alderaan does get destroyed, yes, but the events of this game take place sometime before that. I have always had in the back of my mind thinking, whilst working to save Alderaan, well, this eventually gets rendered moot because it does get destroyed. But I'm not sure how long before the events of A New Hope this stuff happens. I do know that this is set 300 years after the events of Knights of the Old Republic. And I don't know what kind of gap there is between Knights of the Old Republic and A New Hope. But it's a while, certainly. It might be 1,000 years or so. I mean, I can look it up. When is SWTOR set? Galactic timeline. That seems like it'll have the answer I'm looking for. It seems like this is taking place 3,630 years before the Battle of Yavin. So, yes, Alderaan will be destroyed. I know that you were saying that facetiously, but I'm going to respond to it as though you were serious. Yes, Alderaan does get destroyed, but it appears as though it will be destroyed in about 3,000 years' time. So, longer than between now and when Jesus was born. So, I think they'll be alright. According to the novel The Old Republic Annihilation, the Treaty of Coruscant collapsed in 3642 before Yavin, and Star Wars The Old Republic Knights of the Fallen Empire states that Choza Rabat disappeared 2 years before that, or 3644 Battle before Yavin. The game also establishes that Rabat's disappearance occurred 12 years before the events of Fallen Empire, so Fallen Empire must take place in 3632 before Yavin, and Chapter 1, which takes place 5 years prior to the rest of the expansion. Oh, come on. Go away. I'm busy looking things up. Chapter 1, which takes place 5 years prior to the rest of the expansion in 3637 before Yavin. The Galactic Standard Calendar is the standard calendar system used to reference all of Star Wars. It's based on the Battle of Yavin from Star Wars A New Hope and the destruction of the first Death Star during the Galactic Civil War. The Galactic Calendar is the in-universe calendar system adopted by the Galactic Senate following the Treaty of Coruscant. This is the calendar system that would be used by your characters. So they've got a timeline with a bunch of entries for stuff that happens. Cold War, the Old Republic. Battle of Hoth, Battle of stuff. Battle of Ilum. Rise of the Hutt Cartel. Okay, so this is the base game. Yeah. Turns out The year given at the top of the entry of the article is basically correct. Although this actually might be slightly before what's given as the current year. Old Republic launches. In-game class stories timeframes differ and overlap. So 3643 before Yavin. Or in universe, the calendar is 1080 C, so after Treaty of Coruscant. So the stuff that my character is doing here is actually before, it's even longer ago. It's 3,642 years before the destruction of this planet, Alderaan. So, in fact, yes, Alderaan will be destroyed, but the gap between the events here and when it is destroyed in universe is probably about the same time as between out of universe now and when Egypt was one of the greatest powers in the world during the Bronze Age. I don't want to say the building of the pyramids because I'm not exactly sure when the pyramids were built. I suppose I could look that up. Oops, that's a physical object in the space. A jetbike. Okay, I now have enough gas grenades. Where do I need to use the gas grenades? Here. I can probably stop in the middle of this lake that doesn't have anything spawned in it and take a moment to check when the pyramids were built, because I don't remember offhand. I mean, I know that they were built. They were not all built back to back or at the same time. They were built one after another. Pyramids were constructed anywhere between 2600 BC to 600 BC. So some of them will have been built 4,500 years ago, and some of them will have been built 2,500 years ago, roughly. So, yeah. 3,600 years is about the time from now to when, between now and when the pyramids were being built. Yeah. So, yes, Alderaan will be destroyed, but from the events that are happening in the game, it has a good old time of it and lasts for quite a while between those times. So that's fine. surprised that it didn't kill all of them. It only killed one. That's a long cooldown for a grenade. This is supposed to be like just an object that I can pull out and use, isn't it? Why does it have a cooldown? I have all 4 of them. I have the objects. So, oh, he might not. He might be in a round now. But Bruiser said that he was spending points that he'd earned in Resident Evil to upgrade his account, presumably, or his characters in Dead by Daylight. So it's interesting that they're usable between games. I assume that Dead by Daylight is made by the same people. Or perhaps... Okay, so in Dead by Daylight they added the Resident Evil chapter. So Nemesis, Jill and Leon are in the game now. Ah, okay, I see. I took it to mean that you had played a bunch of Resident Evil, one of the Resident Evils that features Jill Valentine, and as a result had earned points that were transferable between games. But just the fact that characters from Resident Evil are now in Dead by Daylight does still mean that the 2 games are probably made by the same company, or at least by the same games manufacturer, or released by the same publisher, I mean, so that they can get the rights to put characters from another IP in the game. Doesn't look like there's anywhere down here that I can explore, so I'm not going to worry about that. I think it's just up here. And there's probably 2 or 3 regions up there for me to explore. You'd think, but Dead by Daylight is so popular now, all the horror franchises want to be part of it. They also have Silent Hill, Stranger Things, Saw, Scream, Chainsaw Massacre, Halloween, and more. Oh, really? Okay. Fair enough. That still seems complicated for copyright purposes, but that sounds cool. Not really a fan of horror myself, to be honest, but it's really cool that you get to play as or against favorite horror antagonists. Halloween means Jason Voorhees. Chainsaw Massacre is Leatherface. The IP have the main say on what the characters they use, the map that comes with them, and skins, etc. Well, that makes sense. They need to make some concessions, and to be honest, having the input of the owners of the IP probably is more valuable than not. I'd be interested to see Hellraiser or or Reanimator or The Thing, or you probably wouldn't get Evil Dead, would you? Evil Dead, after the first one, was a bit too much of a comedy. It wasn't really a horror anymore. Dead by Daylight's original design killers are the best, though. Fair enough. I was going to say Nightmare on Elm Street, but I imagine it would be difficult to put... Well, maybe not. I was going to say it would be difficult to put Freddy in, but Ash from Evil Dead is in the game. They added him as a survivor. Freddy is in the game. Oh, really? Okay. Can Ash actually do very much in the setting of Dead by Daylight? Because he's pretty scrappy in the films. I would have thought he'd be a bit too dangerous for the killers in a game if they actually put him with his abilities into the game. Where am I going? This way. Wouldn't you end up with the killer being chased by Ash? All the survivors have their own personal skills that can be mixed and matched with others. Oh, I actually need to try and get up here. Okay. House Trader's Circle. It's not a circle, it's an oval. Anyway. Need to get up there. Bounced as best as possible, of course. Yeah. Well, as they start adding more and more survivors, it will be more and more difficult to balance, I imagine. But, I mean, they're the ones taking on that role. Not me. I don't have to worry about it. They haven't got Hellraiser, though, have they? That seems like that would be a bit too difficult to deal with, because the Cenobites are rather a lot more metaphysical than even Freddy or Jason Voorhees. Seems to me it would be a little bit dangerous to lean at quite such an angle in snow, but I guess he's alright. Trying to cover up the bumps with snow, but you can see that the what is supposed to be flat metal paneling is bending here. Which is a bit suspect. Lieutenant Wheezenod. What a name. They could do the Cenobite with skins for each of the iconic ones, but yeah, it's super fun. Oh, missed some. I've been rooting for Hellraiser forever. I mean, they have Pyramid Head. They could do the Cenobite. Yeah. I mean, I've never watched... I've not played Silent Hill. I've not watched Silent Hill. I haven't actually watched any of the Hellraiser films. I'm just kind of aware of what all of them are capable of. But it feels like Pyramid Head and Silent Hill are like part of Earth, but create sort of genius loci, magical locations on Earth and move about on like a slightly unusual sort of spirit worldy kind of version of Earth to get around, whereas the Cenobites are from a place that is entirely different from Earth. The circumstances during which they can connect to Earth are quite specific and unusual, and even more than Pyramid Head and other Silent Hill baddies. It feels like the powers and combat ability of the Cenobites are more diegetic, absolute. Like, I know that things get weird in the Hellraiser films later on, but the first few, initially, it doesn't seem like you can actually fight against the Cenobites at all. You just kind of have to hope that you don't draw their attention. So that they don't pull you apart with chains that spawn, according to their will, from wherever they need to come from to hook onto you and pull you apart, basically. So it feels like you can run away from Pyramid Head and avoid him and hide, and maybe even get the best of him. I don't actually know what happens in the Silent Hill game that he features in. But the Cenobites, you kind of maybe can bargain with them, but basically you just have to hope that you never catch their attention. Really. Best case scenario. I mean, the only reason that anyone escapes from their notice once they've been summoned is if they were forced to complete the Lament configuration against their will. Like, you complete the Lament configuration, open the puzzle box, and it brings the Cenobites. And if you were the one who wanted to solve the puzzle, they come for you. But if you are being forced to solve the puzzle by someone else, the Cenobites come for the person who wanted the puzzle solved, not the one who was actually doing the puzzle solving. I think even that isn't necessarily enough to save you, but not being the one who wants to solve the puzzle is your best chance if the Cenobites turn up right in front of you. So I don't know. I can't think of a way that logic for the Cenobites and Hellraiser would fit into a game like Dead by Daylight. There could be a killer mechanic where the objective could be made much more difficult unless the puzzle is solved, which in turn powers them. Either way, I want to see them in so bad. Hey, fair enough. I'm sure that they'll find a way to shoehorn them in. Although it will depend on who owns the IP for Hellraiser at the moment. It's probably because you're incredibly arrogant. That's bad news. I don't know why anyone who's not a Jedi or Force sensitive would be interested in holocrons. They're basically only accessible if you have the Force. I guess you technically count as having helped retrieve the holocron. You have the information on where it is and what's on it. I don't know how he's managed to get information on what's on the holocron. I was under the impression that you couldn't even open them unless you were capable of sensing the Force. But my information on how you use a holocron is admittedly not complete. Really? They're just holding the meeting with the Sith here, just right here. Just a short speeder ride away. Oh, it's a group face, okay. I realise that they have an audio cue so that players know that they're being attacked, but it feels weird to me that enemies in the game, like in universe, yell, kind of go "ah!" and then start shooting at you. Hey, do you reckon putting Darth Vader in Dead by Daylight would work? And you have to run away from him as some poor Republic or rebellion foot soldier or something on board a ship. They could basically recreate the end of Rogue One, couldn't they? Where you're trying to pass data holder from one person to another whilst you run around a ship. Really weird that this is the only door into the rest of the building from this set of corridors. Because from the outside, it's quite a large building. And this is the only way to access the rest of it from the initial doorway. Sith Lord. Ooh, okay. Get him. Oh, he's another one of the vampires. Or vampire-looking dudes. That was easy. Ooh, schematics. Veda cloth greaves. Let's keep hold of that. Got the holocron. Like, you would think there'd be a door here or something. Oh, yeah, I mean, there's enough space back here for there to be rooms over there beyond the corridor. And there's plenty of space over here. It's just weird that around a bend and up some stairs is the only way to access... Oh no, hold on. There's a door over here. Okay, so there is another way into the rest of the interior space. But no other doors on the outside. And there are towers up there. So those towers... Oh, do they count as towers? Yeah, I'll call them towers. The only way to access those towers, if that was the only door in, would be really convoluted. So where's this Jedi Master I need to talk to? Oh, he's actually in the settlement as well. Okay, that's convenient. Okay, I guess I just need to continue wandering around, explore the rest of the planet, as there's still a bunch of this territory and these regions that I haven't seen. It's still really weird to me that you could just do these little sections here, and I think you came up to here, like a third of the planet to complete. Well, I mean the Jedi Consular's story arc on the planet. I guess that isn't necessarily an indication that the other archetypes stories are similarly short. But every other planet that I've been on, the class story has taken you all over the planet. Pretty much. Like maybe it's gated behind level, and you only get to unlock the next stage of your... Well, no, hold on. If that was the case, then I'd have unlocked the gates, the level gates, on most of the previous planets that I've been on, because I've always been, well, not always, but since Coruscant, I've been over level for the content I've been doing. So I can't believe that the reason I've completed this so quickly is because I happen to have met level requirements that I was not expected to have reached by the time... Go away. Maybe I should keep Kaizen on tank mode, just so that he's generating threat, keeping attention away from me, because I'm remarkably squishy. Yeah, I think if I'd known that you could play a Jedi... or if I'd known that whilst playing a Jedi Shadow, you could play without or gain non-dual saber, double-ended saber weapons, I probably would have gone with that, because getting to play as a tank that can stealth would have been extremely valuable, I think. I'd have been playing the same story. Oh, I've completed exploring the whole place. Cool. Okay, let's head over here then to the Duran Mountains. I'm going to continue killing my way through King's Pass. still like half of this zone, more than half, that I haven't explored. Just to go back to something you said earlier, Sammy, about playing Magic. I found, whilst I was coming in to play Paper Magic a couple of years ago now, towards the end came to the realization that I'm actually just not very good at playing Magic, and as a result I wasn't enjoying playing because I was just getting trash canned every game. And it wasn't an experience that I found enjoyable. I mean, the social aspect was nice, getting to hang out with people. And despite I wouldn't describe myself as a competitive person. I don't mind losing occasionally. I never won. I can't think of any game that I played at Friday Night Magic at Forbidden Planet that I actually won. And I wasn't very good at building decks, and I wasn't very good at piloting them. And I mean, that's fine. You know, you don't have to be good at everything. But yeah, I wasn't good at Magic, and as a result, I didn't really enjoy playing. Still have the cards, but I've been thinking about selling them for a while. Because I don't really intend to make any use of them. Why is there a route marked on the map in yellow here, but no ability to access what that would even be? It's not that there's anywhere under me, is there? No, that's not door. Well, it is a door, but it's not something I can go through. That's a smuggler phase mission, okay. Get the feeling that I'm just going to be like wandering around until I find more missions on what appears to basically be an alpine world. So at least the scenery is nice, even if the rocks are a bit of a mystery. Because the formations don't look natural. And also, you'd think if they were actually like natural rocks, that they wouldn't be quite this jagged. I don't feel. This is an allied space. That's nice. I was worried that the red of the fields was an indication that this was an Imperial space. But no, they're just force fields, I guess. Not sure why they need force fields here. I mean, these columns are pretty obviously the weak point. And what can you achieve with massive amounts of power expenditure to keep the shields up that you can't with walls, like physical walls? Oh, there's baddies in there. That looks like a heroic zone. Imperial Jump Trooper. Guessing that it's a heroic area because of the presence of so many strong enemies. Okay, so that's that explored. Hunting the raider. Okay. Ooh. Dreadseeded nerf. Oh, right, these are Dreadseed thingamies, aren't they? There was a zone on Tatooine that looked like this as well, wasn't there? Okay. Should I go north or west? West is a smaller area to explore, I suppose. Let's see if I can get over here. I might be able to. It's not, strictly speaking, a traversable route according to the map, but don't really seem to be able to vibrate up that hill. Okay, never mind. South again then, I guess. I was hoping that I'd explore this by going into it, but it doesn't seem like... Ooh, hello. Is this an Imperial zone? No, it seems I can bypass it without getting belligerent. Oops. Taking your eyes off the road is a sure way to crash, whether you're piloting a, whether you're driving a car or piloting a jet bike or land speeder. Oh, this is House Wrist. That was a quick discovery. I thought House Wrist was elsewhere, but I guess not. I guess it's here. Oh yeah, we've been to house risk locations, but those were always like small buildings or caves or installations or I guess small bases, not their actual like core house holding. Group phase. Did I go in there? I don't think so. Maybe I'll get a quest to personal phase. Not eligible to enter this time. I guess I'll at some point get a quest that takes me in there, since I don't think that I've been in there yet. I'm going to be annoyed if this is it, if there actually aren't any more quests I can find and take. I don't really want to explore the whole of Alderaan on the stream. Or rather, I don't want... What are you? A Vaughn tiger, okay. I don't want however much of the rest of my stream it takes to consist of just exploring all of Alderaan. I guess I could carry on with my class story, explore Alderaan between streams, and then come back when I find what missions there are. I don't know, I don't like doing things out of order. Okay, discovered this. Still no quests. Or they've shown up on the minimap. You would think there'd be quests here, but I mean, I was buzzing around down here. I didn't come all the way up here, but you'd have thought it would show up if there were quests, wouldn't you? Where they've got, oh, I was going to say, I wonder what. Oh no, it is floaty. Okay, it just happened to line up that like that, like a column there. But no, this is some kind of weird floaty balloon. Well, I don't know about a balloon, but floaty thing. I wonder what it's for. Around pass. Oh, that's the whole of this, so if I want to explore any more I need to come over here. Oh yeah, light side grows stronger. Nice. will this explore the last bit of this region? Or will this be split into 2 or 3 more? Okay. Kilix. Oh, there's even more. Okay. It's unlikely that there'll be a mission up there, although on Taris there was a quest giver out in the middle of nowhere, wasn't there? Unexpectedly. That's human construction, not Killick. Amateur nerf. Oh, Ulgo Fortress. Okay, so I was thinking this looks quite military, but apparently this is Ulgo. No, I expect that. Well, I hope that there's a mission that brings us up here, but one last area. I wonder why it's broken down like this. So at some point you presumably are able to talk to him. Still isn't the whole of this area. Oh, down there. That little triangle. Who controls this area? Oh, this is an Imperial area, I think. Yeah, it's a Sith assassin. I'm glad these aren't targeting me. Alright. Well, I guess I could come down here and trundle around. And look and see if anyone there has any missions. I didn't actually fully explore this place. I only buzzed around it a little bit. I live in hope. There is some quest giver here. Excuse me, coming through. Your projection of whoever this is spoiled a little bit by the fact that there's a big old bright light above them and you can't really see their head as a result. Oh, Imperial phase. Ooh. I'm not allowed in. But this whole area is supposed to be Imperial. But if it is, why is everyone friendly to me? How would an Imperial... If this area is friendly to me, presumably that means it's unfriendly to Imperials. So how would an Imperial be expected to get in to these? I suppose these guys aren't actually that hard, are they? That's a strong enemy, and he's just a gunner. Like, he's just nothing. Or he's not nothing. But he doesn't have an indicator on him like this. No, there aren't any quests for me here. Is this a zone that's just for Imperials to do stuff? Seems like it. Ah, not quite. Why does the map say that there's a path here when there clearly isn't? And it's not even accessible unless you're dicking about on walls that you're probably not really supposed to be able to get onto anyway. Sith Sorcerer. Jetpacking around. Or jet booting around. Oops. Sith Juggernaut. Yeah, it seems like this is very much a Sith focused area, so I suppose it's not surprising that I haven't been given quests to come over here. It's not really supposed to be my area. Haha, I found the place. Oh, nuts. Passive, we're running away. Okay, no longer in combat. That still hasn't explored the whole zone. What the hell? Oh, I can't be bothered. Where else is there? Kamos territory? Let's come over here. Let's get as close to here as we can with the shuttle. There we go, that's handy. And then head north. There aren't any regions I can visit up here. Maybe this is it. Maybe there aren't any more quests for a Republic player on Alderaan. Maybe it's just a really short planet for Republic, because it's mainly an Imperial planet. It does seem as though I've completed what there is of story for helping House Organa, I guess. Is it even possible to get north of here? Oh yeah. Smuggler phase. Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna spend the rest of the stream zipping about on Alderaan. I'll explore it between streams. And if there happens to be more content on planet, I'll come back and do it on stream. But like the fact that we haven't gotten quests that take us over this zone, this region, or any of like half of the Duran Mountains area, or any of this northern region, just suggests to me that actually there isn't any more. Not ready yet. What's the recharge? 5 seconds, alright. Wonder what that connected to. Whatever it did connect to is massively destroyed. Oh yeah, you can see a section of it here, can't you? Can't see any more with the rest of the map that we've got explored. Or anything down here. Alright, let's... Not ready yet. So how long has it got left? Be nice if you could show the cooldown. Oh, hold on. That just phased through a tree. Didn't hit the character, but it did go through the wing of this Thanta. So we are moving onwards with the class story. We saved the Jedi Master who was on this planet from the Madness Plague, and that happened to be the last of them. And now we need to... We're probably going to need to investigate a bit to find Darth... Vivicar. And I am expecting that all of the masters that I've saved so far will turn out to be collected together on Tython, and we'll talk to them and get information from them about whatever it was that happened on the planet that they all visited together, where they lost a friend. I've already drawn the conclusion that their friend, who they think is dead, is actually Vivicar. I can't remember their name, but it might not be the case. That's usually how these things go. But they might try throwing a curveball with this story specifically. Can't guess how much dicking around I'll need to do investigating, looking for Vivicar before I actually find him. It has been mentioned that there is more to the class quest after Vivicar, so hopefully there won't be too much looking around for him. I have spoken to him on Holocom once already, directly. So I'm hoping that I'll be on his trail by the time I finish the stream today. But I can't really guess. Just realised I could have opened the map and gone Open Galaxy and travelled to Tython, but oh well, I'm here now. And this way I get to watch the takeoff animation or cutscene. Spaceship, 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 spaceship. Is there more story with what's his face? Tharan. The Illuminatus Club. That sounds like a cross between the Illuminati and the Unseen College. They could have come up with a better name, couldn't they? I have a suspicion that this might be a trap to lure him in, but let's see how it goes. So presumably his story arc will continue with the symposium. I'm not sure what Kaizen has from here. Rise of the Hutt Cartel. I think I'll leave those alone. Those are probably beyond where the story I'm at is supposed to be for now. Oh, okay. To the helm! To the bridge! Oh, we're quite close. I can travel to Tython for free. Somewhat different world. Not quite as green, and the land masses are larger, or at least the land masses on this side of the planet that we can actually see are larger. Quick, land on the planet before I space myself. Where's my character supposed to be landing her ship? I don't think there was space in the hangar to land in the temple, in the areas of the planet that we explored when we were first there. Yeah, we're not actually in any of these areas, are we? Oh, we're on the orbital station. Weren't we supposed to go to Tython? Didn't we land on Tython? Where are we? This is not an area of Tython I've visited before. I don't know how you would even access it without this quest line. Critical lack of funds. Quick, give me some in exchange for this junk. Yeah, we're not actually on Tython, are we? That's Tython. So why did it show us an animation of the ship landing? Or, well, zooming. Well, it didn't show us landing, did it? It showed us zooming in towards. Why do I need to stop off here before I can get to Tython? Well, I mean, I suppose there isn't actually space for me to land on Tython, as I discussed. I guess. Oh yeah, I've got post. Captain Skov on behalf of Commander something. Buris Olgo. Oh, on behalf of Commander Buris Olgo, presumably. The commander asked me to pass along a little something extra for helping us take Buris Olgo into custody. We used to study some of his victories during training. Can't believe he ended up in a jail cell. The Pantiers aren't happy, of course, but personally I don't care what those traitors think. Alderaan needs a ruler who's loyal to the Republic. Hopefully after this war is over you'll get one. Captain Skov. Bit weird that I can't read the full text of the title of that letter. Fasha Teral Organa. Oh yeah, that's one of the people we helped get married, isn't it? I must thank you again for all you've done for my family and for Alderaan herself. My father is well and attempts at peace continue, though the negotiations are long and involved. When people can carry a grudge over who said what about someone's husband at a party 50 years ago, it slows things down. That's ridiculous. Without interference from Master Sidone, though, I'm confident that this civil war will end quickly once Ulgo's teeth are finally pulled. Last, I'm so sorry protocol meant that there were no wedding invitations available for you and your friends. Lou and I missed you greatly. However, I did keep these small tokens from the Organa reception. Please accept them with our very best wishes. And we got a little chest. Oops. Here. Some credits. That was what was left over from the reception. Some credits. Did they just have credit sticks slung about at the reception to conspicuously display wealth? And the credit slips are left over? I thought so. Oh, I can train up, can't I? Why don't I do that before I go into the hall? I had a bunch of stuff that I hadn't learnt, didn't I? Revives an incapacitated ally. This ability is usable while in combat. Ooh, that's quite a good res. I mean, 4-minute cooldown? Well, it's probably not useful during a fight, but that's pretty good. That's a pretty good cooldown and pretty good range for an ability you can use in combat. When used, all group members can neither use nor be the target of an in-combat revival for the next 5 minutes. Okay, so that's... well, that's the cooldown. The ability, isn't it? Don't actually need that on my hotbar. Force barrier. Channels a protective barrier around you, granting immunity to all negative, controlling and damaging effects and building up to 4 charges for Enduring Bastion, which absorbs 297 damage per charge. Does not respect the global cooldown. It can be used while controlled. Absorbs. Last 30 seconds. So this is a better shield. The cooldown is longer, but it is more protective. Force empowerment increases mastery, endurance, presence for you and your operation group members within 40 meters by 10%. Lasts 10 seconds. Cooldown 5 minutes. That doesn't seem relevant right now. A little bit disappointed that I don't have another speeder or mount speed upgrade to train, but oh well. I assume that I will get one at some point. Huh. How did I not notice this lore object until now? Oh, it's just 2, 3. Oh, good. My character's not a complete idiot. I knew it. Morage is the one who invented the madness plague. I mean, they could have, but... My character seems unaccountably... Well, not unaccountably, but oddly connected and... feels like she's got oddly strong feelings for Yuan, considering how little time we actually spent as master and pupil. I wonder what's in all this dead space. It's not used for anything on this floor. There's also dead space here and here. I mean, maybe the exterior of the building goes around like this, but there'd be no reason for there to be gaps here, because this space on the second floor is actually used. I expect you'll probably just go mad again and I'll have to beat you up again. Intense force stuff is happening that you can't see or hear. Strong enough. I don't think that she's... That's a weird lightsaber. Oh, she's got a red blade. Well, in the cutscene she had a red blade. I don't think that she's actually given in. I think that she's using this time to trace Vivicar back. Nope. As you wish, kill her. Again. Presumably if I just killed them all, I'd have found some other lead. I'm still standing, it's fine. I haven't collapsed or anything. Presumably, if I'd killed them all, I would still have found some other means of getting to Vivicar. But presumably, if I'd killed all of them but Yuon, and then killed her now after she'd given me that information, I would have gotten the information and also would be at full strength, basically. I wouldn't be shielding 5 or 6 masters. Wrong way. More talking to a council. I'd have gotten them straight on a ship and headed out and told them whilst I was in transit. This doesn't need to be an in-person meeting. Vivicar strikes back. The Empire strikes back. Well, he's not a member of the Empire. I don't think that he ever was, but interesting that they chose that phrasing. Oh, right, can't mount up in here, can I? I can run, though. Oh, Tython Orbital Station. Or I could just go straight to my ship. Let's do that. Right, yes. From Tython you can get to Tython Orbital Station or the Republic Fleet. Or, well, in this case... Thank you. So do I. Where was I supposed to go? Vivicar's ship out in the middle of fucking nowhere. Alright. Master Yuan Par's coordinates lead to a huge starship lingering in a distant sector. The ship appears imperial, but scanners detect many upgrades and strange power fluctuations. Master Yuan's code should lower the defenses long enough for you to board. Let's go. Take a seat and watch the light show. Ooh, there we go. The ship. Am I gonna fly my ship in there, or I'm gonna... I don't have a shuttle, do I? Quick, fly us in before I space myself. Vent myself to space. I wonder how much time this is going to take. I wonder if we'll probably get... Oh, this is probably going to be the bridge. Control substation. I'm probably going to need to run through the control substation before I can get to the bridge. It doesn't look like there are any lifts. But some of these might be lifts, I suppose, or there could be... Yeah. No, actually, I expect this is gonna... These are gonna contain ambushes. There's gonna be people waiting in there for us to get to about here, and then they'll come running out, and I'll force quake them down. Guards waiting, standing by to run out. Tell you what will happen is we'll get to the bridge and we'll fight Vivicar, and we'll have the option of killing him or shielding him, and I of course will choose shielding, and then we'll need to go to Malachor 3 and finally kill off find the spirit of the Nabed Sith and seal it or kill it or something. Ooh, medical droid. I don't think I've got anything I need to sell. No. Before we start, Kaizen, I'd like to give you a gift of a armor maintenance kit. Just in case. Padded weapon case. Ooh. No influence gain, no influence gain, no influence, no influence. I might as well give them this as well, eh? You honour with this herald. Oh yeah, let's turn on my buffs. I don't think that I need to fight my way through all of these guys. Yeah, I'm not going to bother. I'll just fight through the direct path, I think. Still being limited to level 33. That's 17 off max level for the base game. Use security terminal. Ah, here. Okay, I might as well take them out just to make sure. Where did that rock come from? That's hardly impressive. Counteroffer. I'll show you how light can be reignited. Like that. Haha, with explosives. Brainwashed. Oh, he's using brainwashed Republic soldiers. That fucking sucks. What a dick. Defeat brainwashed blue squad, green squad, red squad leader. Is that going to be on the way? Yes. That's fine. I can manage that. I was worried that I was going to be sent back to looking through this zone for one of the squad leaders, but it seems like I don't need to worry about that. Dreadnought attack droid. No, I'm surprised that you don't ever get crafting drops from droids. Like, it only happened occasionally later on in WoW, but there were mobs that if you defeated them and you had the correct crafting, you could, you know, pull out a pickaxe or a spanner, you know, whatever it was that you whatever crafting knowledge you had, you could pull out whatever tool and start using it. I'm surprised there isn't anything that just straight up heals you. Oh well. Brainwashed blue squad leader. Oh. That's a shame. I'm going to headcanon this that my character isn't actually killing any of the brainwashed people. She's certainly talented enough that she doesn't need to kill outright. Or that she's strong enough that she has the option, the luxury of choice, to not kill an opponent that is attempting to kill her. Uh-huh. There aren't any guards running down here to stop me. So they probably won't be here and here either, because this appears to be exactly the same as far as I can tell. Was this accessible? I don't think that it was. But now I'm curious and want to check. I expect that's the route we'll leave by. Oh yeah, no, locked. Yeah, that'll be the route that we leave by. You have to take the long way through to get in. In you go, Kaizen. Ah, this is going to open to reveal guards. Maybe even a Sith. I enjoyed foiling you. Don't worry, I will. What do I do now? No, not a Sith. But still guards. That's fine. I knew that'd happen. Those droids seem to be strong. Oh yeah, he's weak. Thought so. Oops. Why did that happen? If only the game wasn't squishing my level down to 33. I'd be absolutely trash canning these guys. Oops. That doesn't have the range to hit him. Why did I hit that? I love it when they go off twice. It's great. Wasn't that a squad leader? Yeah. That was a green squad leader. I wonder why... Where was the rest of his squad? Oh well. Not going to argue. The first one was really tough because there was just loads of dudes pouring fire on me. And with that one there just was nobody, which was kind of weird. I wonder if we're going to have people run up from these side passages. No, but they are full of people. Maybe I should take them out just to be sure. No drops. It's a little bit odd that there one... Was there one in here? There was one here. Two friendly medical droids on board. That is a little bit strange. But then again, even Imperial medical droids are friendly to me. I just can't trade with them. There's a red squad leader. I wonder how you would get past without taking him on. I guess you could bypass green squad leader because he's just patrolling around in a circle around here. You could just take a route around him, bypass him. But both red and blue squad leaders, I mean, I guess you... No. Maybe you could have gotten close enough to this to interact with it to open it, but... My feeling is that these would only open when he goes down. Alright. This seems oddly understaffed for a ship of this size. Is the rest of his ship staff just out of the way so that they don't get hurt during the fighting? What up, Viv? Wow, those are some shoulder pads. Has he got the smoky eyeshadow of evil? Yep. Well, that's more bruising, but... Yep. You've lost already. He's got the same lightsaber that Yuan was wearing. Yeah, okay. I don't think it's going to help you. Derek, porridge, was it? Sorry? Porridge? Are you beyond pain? Ah, so you're not quite there yet then. Kaizen is willing... Oh, he's only gold. Huh, he's only elite. Yeah. I can mash your head in. Wow, that went off a lot, didn't it? This fight is not nearly as difficult as I was thinking it was going to be. He's already almost down. I mean, my gear is helping significantly. Yep, let's shield him as well. Sure it is. If I'd been playing as an asshole this entire time, I could just say, so what? No. I'll cut you down, though. I just need to shield you, too. Wow. 2 evil choices. I have no choice. Kill him. So you have you kill him. But he's being possessed by a spirit that's already being powered by however many other masters. Killing him wouldn't do anything useful. Clearly, it would just weaken the Jedi Order significantly. Oh, he looks so daft, doesn't he? It's like a gimp suit. What if I hunt you down first? Yep. That wouldn't have destroyed Morage. I don't think. Maybe it would have. Maybe he was lying. Sounds good. You were abandoned, unfortunately, by an inexperienced Jedi. But now, the Order and the Republic have returned for you, after all this time, in the form of me, to help and restore you. I hope it's coordinates for Malachor 3, so I can go there and deal with Parcana. Not Parcanus. So I can go there and deal with Morhage properly. Finally, fully. I'm definitely still headcanoning that all the people that were being oh, I could have cleared this place and helped them out, couldn't I? Jedi Commander. So they've cleared the rest out. Fair enough. Am I still shielding those Jedi Masters and Parcanus Tark? Oh hey! That's where the phase starts. I would have thought just entering the place. Just getting here was the start of the phase, like landing or docking. No, he doesn't have any more mission for us just yet. Back to Tython then, I guess. Wonder what they'll do with the ship. Oh yeah, definitely headcanoning that all the people who were brainwashed to help Vivicar have been rescued by that Republic ship as well. Now, I didn't kill them. I just disabled them. This feels a bit convoluted, but I guess they couldn't they have built another or extra space in the well, we've got 4 doors here for each of the ships to have a its own airlock. Have they docked here? Is that what it is? Airlock elevator, not a hangar like this, but a docking section station. I guess the way that they do this as standard is have 4 places for each of the different archetypes to dock their ship or land their ship, and so it would require that the landing area here be like 4 times the size, which probably is a bit much. But still, it seems really convoluted having to go to the orbital station and then take a shuttle down rather than just being able to land on the planet. Are you going to promote me to master? Is it Sparkle Pants? It's not Sparkle Pants. That's a bit of a shame. Of course you do. Is it what's his face? Ghosty Man. Well, I am the best. A real challenge. How many of them know that there is a Bar Centaur at all? A lot of Kaizens around. Hey, is that... Oh no, he's a companion. Okay. He's not a Sith player character. So the Sith originally were a species. They had red skin, and the males had kind of fleshy little tendrils, a little bit like a beard. And I've been thinking it would be amusing to, once I've unlocked Sith as a playable race, because they are a playable race in the game, it would be amusing to play a Sith Jedi. And I thought maybe someone else had done it, but no, it was a companion. But it's still interesting that you can have a Sith companion running around after you. I wonder if... Vivicar's around here somewhere that you can actually go and visit. Oh, being down-leveled to 10. This is a very public archive, isn't it? These are a bunch of holocrons hanging out. Different patterns. This is presumably going to be my holocron. Oh yeah, there we go. Maybe I'll place the shielding technique that I've learnt into this as well. Ooh. That's pretty fancy. I think in universe that would usually take me ages. Like weeks. Of not doing anything else. Or months if I was busy with other things. And only taking occasional moments to update, add things. Go here, Barsanthor. There we go. I want to get Padawan. I don't know, Padawan. Master at some point. That'd be nice. The upstanding, the respectable, illustrious, Sarlacc Stomper, honourable, emissary of Terral, uncompromising, paladin of House Organa. That's a cool title. Black Bisector. That's a fun title. I like the droids that give you that. Keeper of Truth. Fly Girl. Friendly. Jedi. Can I just get back to my ship like this? No. Not sure what that is. Priority transport, personal starship. This perk will allow you to quickly shuttle to your personal starship. Ah, okay, I see. So that's a perk you can unlock once your legacy is high enough level. I wonder why I'm going back to my ship to access the holo terminal there rather than going to the room here, the council room, with when they've got all of their council members assembled here. The ship. Just go straight to the ship. Don't want to go to the orbital station to get to my ship. I know that logically is how my character would need to do that to get here from the surface, but oh right, yeah. Ah, both of them have questy quests for me. A super weapon. What about Holiday? He didn't invent Holiday. Of course. You're the one that flagged me over. I don't mind. Right. What's up with Kaizen? Nice. It won't last 5 minutes. Skoyagu. What's the middle age of a Trandoshan involve? You're gonna become horny. Skin shedding. Fair enough. He must hunt throughout. Well, that's fine. He's my standard go-to companion for now, until I find someone more interesting. So, why did I need to come back? Why did I need to come to my ship to have this conversation? First of all, I was already on Tython. They could have just talked to me in the conference hall. However, now that I've come back to my ship, I've been asked to go back to Tython. This could have just happened on Tython. Why did it need to be on my ship? There's no other way that I could have gotten to this stage of story without having gone to Tython to get rewarded with the Barsanthor title. Why did I need to come back to my ship just to be told to go back to Tython? This is fucking ridiculous. Why is she blue now instead of pink? Is it to disguise her origin and capability? Where the fuck's... Oh, there we go. I haven't gone anywhere. Alright, let's get to the... orbital station, shall we? Why is my knee itchy? Stop it. This is entirely superfluous. I suppose I've got stuff to sell, haven't I? Let's open this. And sell stuff. Stop it. That is an oddly written bio. Have you made up that title? All titles are made up. They're probably being incited towards it by the Empire, aren't they? They're being irresponsible. They are. My suspicion is that when I go to each of these planets of the Rift Alliance, it'll turn out that there's Sith and Empire assholes running around, turning people against, causing problems, and then turning people against the Republic. So I'm expecting that I'll go along, solve those problems, remove the problem creators, and in doing so, return the Rift Alliance planets to the Republic. I hope that by remove problems, you mean violently crush with the Force and a lightsaber, because that's basically the stuff that I'm best at. Oh, good. A Jedi Master is also capable of incredible violence, because if so, that matches me. I don't think it's been long since I was a Padawan. This is a bit weird. Why does he disapprove? Bonza. Now I've gotten the title Master, as I was hoping I would. Sooner than I'd thought. Surely? Got Jedi and Padawan, so I've just been promoted. Where? Where's the title? Am I really a master yet? Oh, travel to the Fortitude. Okay. That doesn't involve the holo terminal. It involves the helm. Why is it out in the middle of nowhere? Ooh. Ah, an excellent opportunity for me to prove the worth of the Republic straight away. Hold on, she's got a lightsaber. She has a lightsaber. Is she not actually one of the Sith, do you reckon? Suspicious of this person already. Let's dock anyway and see what happens. Just notice that door's really tall. Why does it need to be twice the height of my character? I mean, I suppose it's helpful for shipping, moving stuff through. I wonder how long this will be. There's elevators. So it's probably not going to be the same length as a a flashpoint. Sith Marauder. I do have Sith aboard. Still suspicious of Nadia though. She had a lightsaber on her belt. It was definitely the hilt of a lightsaber. Are they throwing knives around? Or high-tech shuriken? Shuriken. You're a bit trash, aren't you, bud? Disappointing for a Sith. You're not much better. More Sith. Defeating Sith is my favorite thing. I'm defeating them partly because they're Sith and I like it, and partly because it might be another situation like the previous ship that we were on, where allied forces will arrive by the end here somewhere and have to fight whatever I've left over, haven't defeated. So I'm just being considerate to our allies, and also freeing all of these diplomats and their guards too. Oh, hello. Wasn't quick enough. Wasn't quick enough either time. It's annoying. Oh hey, there's more dudes up there, right? Let's go. I wonder why they've respawned there. Haven't gone anywhere. That's a little bit weird. I wish people would stop launching rockets at me. Melika. Alright, well, you're going down, eh? She's only elite. She's not super strong. I'm sure this will be fine. Yeah, look at that. She's going down super quickly. She doesn't have the eyeshadow of evil though. That's a bit that's interesting. She had a purple lightsaber. Huh. Are they respawning? Or did I just not see these ones before? No, if they were respawning, these guys would be back already. That took a while, but hopefully there won't be much more of this. It's a little bit weird that there isn't even any kind of a bonus for going around saving everybody. Ah, this is actually where I need to be to open that, presumably. Alright. I think he got blown backwards and then maybe at the same time used an ability that pulled enemies towards him. So he got moved and they got moved together. What's this? Heavy blade. Rad. Don't have a lightsaber. Just got a big fucking metal power sword. It's not like it matters. Oops. Let's have this out though. So it seems. That's bad news. Can we get in? Yes, we can get into the bridge. But we are going to have to go down this elevator at some point. Because otherwise, if we weren't, they wouldn't bother putting it in. Why is this a weapon that my character can get? I can't imagine that it's force sensitive, like in the same way that a lightsaber would be. Because lightsabers have kyber crystals in them, which are force-powered crystals. They're crystals which developed and grew inside a force-rich environment. This is probably where we talk to Nadia Grell, Arax. This is going to be where we find out that actually she's not. Yeah, I don't think that that's a claim you can back up, Arax. Not survive. I mean, I'll... if you've been ordered not to survive, then I'm just going to have to help you along with it, you know? Is that not what you meant by no survivors? That's how I'm interpreting your orders, so that's how I'm going to help you. Lord Kairos. Why would Lord Kairos care about the Rift Alliance separating? Wouldn't the Rift Alliance separating from the Republic help the Sith? Interesting. He doesn't have the... It's interesting that he doesn't have the Eyeshadow of Evil. Oh, is she a companion? Maybe I was a bit too harsh on her, suspecting her of actually being a Sith. But it definitely looks like she's got a lightsaber hilt on her. That's a lightsaber hilt. Or some kind of extremely ornamental, ornate, high-tech scroll case or something. She's got a fucking lightsaber on her. If we're turning off one of the engines so that it changes course, why do we have to go in the direction that hits the moon? Why can't we change direction the other way and go to a place that doesn't have a moon? Wonder why I need two options of saying. Well, this is more certain than this, isn't it? Wonder what use the Shivering Coward's going to be. Probably best to leave him out just so that he doesn't become a liability. Ah, there's someone called Tassandra aboard who we can defeat as part of a bonus leadership purge. Cool, let's do that. Lord Kyrus. Is presumably the villain who we're going to be fighting. For the foreseeable future. Where's Kaizen? Is he phasing through this Sith Marauder? Oh, it was behind him. That's a bit weird. Cargo deck? No. Car no go on ship. Ooh, hello. Ooh. She's a champion. She seems like she's even stronger than the guy who was leading the assault. Should probably be more difficult to kill. Wild. Got one of those stupid double sabers. It would be prohibitively difficult to avoid killing yourself with one of those weapons because of how difficult it would be to avoid the other end whilst you were swinging something out there. Shame that those guys died, but at least one survived. Maybe they helped? Not sure, to be honest. Explodey stuff. Explodey barrel. Am I supposed to be finding stations for those people to stop off at as I go through the ship? Or are they finding them on their own? To me, this just looks like he's wearing one of the underhelmet headpiece things, head cover cowls that the astronauts did in like the 60s. Just his is slightly more high tech. And here I am doing a great job already of proving that the Republic is dead good and you should hang out with us. Cargo deck? No. Car no-go deck. No space on deck for car. It might well be that clearing out this space meant that the ambassadors and everyone, their bodyguards and so on... Was some of the people that I freed from around here were bodyguards, ambassadorial bodyguards. Do you suppose any of them were on the deck below helping us against the bonus objective champion Sith, whose name I can't remember? Well, let's sell stuff here. Duty. It's also possible that defeating all of those dudes in the hangar just meant that all the ambassadors had an easier time of getting out. Yeah, why is this door so large? Is it so that you can get stuff in through it? And carry it. What's this? I'm going to use the holocom, or the intercom. Wrong. Oof. Bit suspect, really. tried twice at least. At least the Republic tried twice. They didn't have to try the second time. Liberate an entire planet? Why, yes, I can manage. And Twi'lek Lady, did I not already prove I'm capable of helping by saving your ship from crashing? And your life from being extinguished in a crashing ship? Yeah, seems like something we don't want the Sith Empire making use of, that. Let's see if we can... Alauni. Let's see if we can melt her frigid exterior, shall we? Why does she have a lightsaber? Ooh, light side points. Influence gain. Nice. I wonder where they're all sleeping. Unless I'm currently docked with the... there's nothing outside the front view screen, is there? Unless I'm currently docked with the ship that I just saved, and they're just like going backwards and forwards. Oh, escape pod. Unavailable at this time. Okay. Just as long as no one's barging in here to try and sleep. This is my bedroom. Anyway, so the next thing is... Oh, straight to Balmora. Don't get a choice. This is where we need to go. Okay. Well, I'll do that next time. Because we are slightly over time now. So that will be next time. That will be Monday, going to Balmora. Between now and then, I will get this up on YouTube, which you can find, Vanilla Jester Gaming. That has all of my streams that I have done so far. Not just this, I've also done, before it was Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. Before that was DCUO. And the first game was Champions Online. So if you feel like watching hours and hours of me playing different games, well, got plenty to choose from. I'm also on Twitter, @VanillaJester. I will tweet before I go live, and also I occasionally tweet or retweet things. I try not to use Twitter too much. I find that it's quite time consuming if I let it. But if you want to talk to me between streams, then you can find me there and message me. as I said, I will be back on Monday, and I hope to see you then. Or I at least hope to see you again. And until I do, I hope you have a nice time, and goodbye.